Welcome to GoodnightGrow. Tonight's story is called A Rainy Night in the Countryside. Get cozy, and let's begin. The dashboard clock said 7:30 when Dad turned off the engine. Outside the windows, the countryside stretched quietly on both sides of the lane, just open fields and hedgerows fading into the grey evening air, and at the end of the gravel path, a small stone cottage with one lit window glowing amber in the dusk. In the back seat, Nyra had her face pressed to the glass, looking up at the sky. "Those clouds look heavy," she said. Dad looked up through the windscreen and smiled. "Maybe," he said. Next to Nyra, strapped into his car seat, Raayan was fast asleep. Head tilted sideways, mouth slightly open, one sock on and one sock somewhere in the footwell. Mum reached back and touched his little cheek softly, so as not to wake him. "Not yet." The first raindrop landed on the windscreen just as they climbed out of the car. Then another. Then 3 more at once. Raayan's eyes opened. He looked around, remembered where he was, and immediately pressed his small palm flat against the cold glass, feeling the drops land on the other side, one by one, like tiny knocks. "Wayne," he said, very seriously. "Rain," Nyra confirmed, equally serious. "Okay, run," said Dad. The 4 of them spilled out of the car and dashed up the gravel path, bags bumping, shoes crunching, the rain now coming down in proper fat drops. Nyra held her backpack over her head. Raayan held a single sock over his head. It was not very waterproof, but he seemed extremely proud of the effort. Dad fumbled with the key, the door swung open, and they tumbled inside all at once, slightly damp and laughing. The cottage smelled of old wood and something warm, like a drawer that hasn't been opened in a while, or the inside of a very old book. Nyra breathed it in. "It smells like Grandma's house," she said. Mum smiled. "That's exactly what I was thinking." Raayan stood in the middle of the small hallway, hands on his hips, looking around with great authority. "Nice," he said. And that settled it. The cottage had a real fireplace in the front room, small and stone, with a basket of logs beside it. Dad crouched down and got to work. The first match didn't catch. The second one did. A thin flame appeared, wavering. Then it found the kindling and grew orange and warm, sending soft light crawling up the low ceiling. Raayan crouched right beside Dad, so close his nose was nearly level with the fireguard, watching the flame with complete concentration, as if this were the most important thing happening anywhere in the world. Which, for Raayan, it was. "Pajamas," said Mum, and she brought the bags through from the hall. Nyra found hers straight away, the blue ones with the moons on them. Raayan's dinosaur pajamas took a little longer to locate, because they had somehow ended up inside a Wellington boot. "I do it," said Raayan firmly, taking them from Nyra and marching toward the sofa. Nyra hovered nearby, helpfully, silently, because she had seen Raayan try to put trousers on before, and she understood the situation. What followed was a focused, unhurried, deeply personal struggle, one leg incorrectly, one leg into the wrong hole entirely, a long pause for thought, a reconsideration, and then triumph. Raayan stood up and spread his arms wide. The dinosaurs were slightly sideways. But it absolutely counted. Mum came through from the kitchen with 4 mugs of warm milk, each with a small drizzle of honey. They sat together on the sofa, all 4 of them underneath one big blanket that Mum had found in the hallway chest. It wasn't quite long enough to cover everyone, which meant a certain gentle negotiation over the middle section. Raayan ended up with most of it. This seemed fair given his size, and the absolute certainty with which he conducted himself in all matters. The fire had settled into something steady now. The mugs were warm in their hands. Outside, the rain had grown heavier. They could hear it clearly on the roof above them, on the window glass beside them, on the leaves of the tree just outside the cottage. Dad went quiet. "Listen," he said. Everyone listened. "That high, steady sound, that's the rain on the roof tiles." They listened. "That low gurgling, that's the water moving through the gutter at the edge of the roof." They listened. "And that soft one, very far away, that's the rain landing on the field." Nyra closed her eyes. She hadn't realized before how rain was not one sound but many, each one steady, each one gentle, each one going on and on without stopping. Like the whole countryside was breathing slowly, all at once. Raayan was very still. After a while, Raayan slid quietly off the sofa and padded over to the window in his sideways dinosaur pajamas. He stood at the glass and watched the raindrops run down it in crooked lines. He pointed at one. "One," he said. "Another. 2. He found a third, tracked it carefully with his finger, then a bigger drop slid down from above and absorbed it, and they became one. Raayan frowned. He started again from the beginning. 1. He got to 11 before it happened again. He stood there patiently, prepared to try as many times as it took. Nyra had shuffled close to Mum on the sofa. She was quiet for a moment, watching the fire. Then, in a voice just slightly smaller than her usual one, she said, "I had an argument with Priya on Tuesday. I think she's still upset with me." Mum didn't say anything straight away. She put her arm around Nyra and pulled her a little closer. "Tell me," she said. Nyra explained, carefully and honestly, the way she always did when she was being really truthful about something. It was about who got to be team captain in PE. Priya had wanted it. Nyra had wanted it too. Their teacher had picked Nyra, and Priya had gone very quiet for the rest of the day, and they hadn't really spoken since. "I didn't even do anything wrong," Nyra said. Then, a little more quietly, "But it doesn't feel good." Mum listened to all of it. She didn't rush to fix it or explain it away. "Has it been sitting with you all week?" Mum asked gently. Nyra nodded, still looking at the fire. "A bit. I keep thinking about it at night." "That's what worries do," Mum said. "They feel much bigger when you carry them on your own." She pulled Nyra a little closer. "But you just told me. It's out in the open now." She paused. How does it feel right now compared to before you said it? Nyra thought about it honestly. Smaller, she said. Mum nodded, as if this was something she had known for a very long time. That's one of the most important things I know about worries, love. They almost always feel smaller once you let them out. You don't have to solve everything tonight. But you don't have to carry it alone either. Nyra didn't say anything for a moment. She just leaned her head against Mum's arm. The thing that had been sitting somewhere between her shoulders all week, quietly, without her even noticing, felt a little lighter now. You know, Mum said after a while, when I was about your age, I used to be frightened of storms. Nyra looked up. Really? The thunder, mostly. One night there was a very loud one, and I was convinced it was getting closer. I lay in bed trying to ignore it, but the more I carried it alone, the bigger it felt. So I went downstairs and told my mum. What did she do? Nyra asked. She made hot chocolate, and we sat by the kitchen window together. She taught me to count the seconds between the lightning and the thunder. The bigger the number, the further away the storm. Did it help? Nyra asked. It did, said Mum. The thunder hadn't changed at all. The storm was exactly the same. But once I'd said I was scared, once someone else knew, it stopped feeling so enormous. She looked at Nyra quietly. That's what sharing does. It doesn't always fix the problem, but it makes the worry smaller. Every time. Nyra thought about this quietly. The fire gave a soft crack. The rain went on outside. For 1 second, just one, the cottage lights flickered. Everyone went still. The lights came back on. Everyone relaxed. Then Raayan turned from the window with enormous eyes and said, "Uh-oh." And all 4 of them laughed, properly, all at once, and the cottage was full of it, and Raayan looked extremely pleased with himself. Dad had remembered, somewhere near the bottom of his warm milk, that he had left the car windows open. He put on his jacket and went to sort it out. He was gone about 2 minutes. When he came back, he was absolutely, completely, thoroughly soaked. His hair was flat against his head. His jacket was dark with rain. A small stream was making its way from his collar downward. He stood in the doorway, dripping onto the mat. Nyra covered her mouth with both hands. Raayan stared. Then Raayan laughed, that full, whole-body laugh that 2.5-year-olds produce when something is genuinely, brilliantly funny and he could not stop, and Dad started laughing too, and Nyra laughed until her eyes watered, and for a while the small stone cottage was full of warmth and noise. Later, when the laughing had settled and Dad had changed into dry things, Mum found the hairbrush in Nyra's bag. Nyra sat on the floor in front of the sofa, between Mum's knees, facing the fire. Mum began to brush her hair slowly, from the top, working through the tangles carefully and without any rush. Nobody said much. The brush moved in long, slow strokes. The fire glowed orange and low. The rain continued outside, steady and soft now, as though it had found its rhythm and settled into it for the night. Nyra's gaze drifted to the flames. She felt her shoulders drop. She hadn't noticed they'd been anywhere up until now. Raayan had climbed back onto the sofa at some point and settled next to Dad. He was telling him something important. It was about a tractor. A red one. Very large. He had seen it earlier that day and he was explaining it carefully, using his hands. He was being very specific about the wheels. And it had a big, said Raayan. And then he stopped. His eyes were closed. His head drifted slowly to the left until it came to rest against Dad's arm. His mouth was still slightly open, as if the sentence about the tractor might resume at any moment. It did not. Dad looked at Nyra. Nyra looked at Dad. Dad lifted Raayan very carefully, the way you carry something precious and sleeping, and moved slowly through the cottage toward the small bedroom at the back. Raayan stirred just slightly. Not sleepy, he murmured, eyes still closed. I know, said Dad, very quietly. He laid Raayan down on the soft mattress and drew the blanket up to his chin. The rain tapped on the window above him. Soft. Steady. Raayan's breathing slowed. His small hands uncurled on the pillow. Back in the front room, the fire had settled to a low, warm glow. The room was quieter now. Just Nyra and Mum. Nyra looked at the window, at the rain running down the dark glass in slow, wandering lines. Mum, she said softly. Yes. Why does the rain feel safe? Mum was quiet for a moment. The kind of quiet that takes its time. I think, she said gently, it's because when it rains, the whole world slows down. There's nowhere we have to be. Nothing we have to do. Just this. Nyra didn't say anything. She just nodded once, slowly. Mum took Nyra's hand and walked her upstairs. The bedroom was small and still. A lamp on the bedside table made everything soft and gold. They opened the window, just a little. Just a crack. The sound of the rain came through. Very soft. A cool breath of night air, and the quiet, steady voice of the rain on the leaves below. Mum pulled the blanket up over Nyra's shoulders. Tucked it in at the sides, the way Nyra liked it, snug and certain. Close your eyes, Mum said. Nyra closed her eyes. Can you hear the roof? Nyra listened. There it was. Steady. Slow. Like a heartbeat above her, going on and on. Can you hear the gutter? A soft, low gurgle. There. And there again. And there once more. And the field. Very far away. So quiet you had to be completely still to hear it. But it was there. The rain, landing softly on the grass. On and on, without stopping. Nyra's thoughts drifted to the rain, to the fire downstairs, and then, gently, to Priya. She would talk to her on Monday. She would say something, not because she'd done anything wrong, but because she cared. The thought of it was simple, small. Not the big, heavy thing it had been at the start of the week. Just a small thing she could do. And that was enough. Mum pressed a kiss to Nyra's forehead. "Good night, love," she whispered. She walked to the door. She turned off the lamp. The room went dark. The rain went on. Downstairs, Mum and Dad sat together by the last of the fire. Mugs empty. No need to talk. The rain fell on the roof above them. It fell on the garden. It fell on the lane, and the fields, and the trees at the edge of the countryside. Soft. And steady. And still. In two small rooms in the cottage, Nyra slept. And Raayan slept. And the rain kept watch over all of them. Good night. That's the end of tonight's story. And remember, if something's been on your mind, find someone to share it with. Worries almost always feel smaller when you let them out. Sweet dreams, and we'll see you next time on GoodnightGrow.